back for the bread. You been sleeping on the savings, now you back in the bed. Made a gamble with your future, you cannot bet on red. Paying for the debt of my fathers, plus mine too. Since I've been converted, got me feeling like I'm brand new. Did a lot of evil, now I'm a changed Jew. Going harder than my last 2 lives, 10 times 2.
Set on high, but we came down low. Renew our mind, we forgot, now we know. Gave God no regard, now we gotta go hard. Seek the Lord like 10 times more. Set on high, but we came down low. Renew our mind, we forgot, now we know. Gave God no regard, now we gotta go hard. Seek the Lord like 10 times more. We used to get down with the demons. Now it's God who we pledge our allegiance. No more getting lit in the club on the weekends. Now we bring the light to the streets when we teaching. Live like a dog, had to be put down. No vet, flesh strong, had to work my spirit out. No flex, working for the kingdom, ain't no off days, no rest. I'm a son of God now when I say it with my chest. Children of the promise, so you can never stop us. And we ain't by no violence, but we don't move in silence. Cry aloud in the projects to give our people back a knowledge. Old ways like vomit make me nauseous. Not of this world, but you know I'm not a Martian. Talking to a God, so you better move with caution. The old man that rests, had to lay him in the coffin. The gods is here and it's God we fear. Yeah, we on that God level, that's a godly tier. And you can only reach it with a godly ear. We in the last days, just know God is near. The gods is here and it's God we fear. Yeah, we on that God level, that's a godly tier. And you can only reach it with a godly ear. Yeah, we in the last days, just know God is near. Set on high, but we came down low. Renew our mind, we forgot, now we know. Gave God no regard, now we gotta go hard. Seek the Lord like 10 times more. Set on high, but we came down low. Renew our mind, we forgot, now we know. Gave God no regard, now we gotta go hard. Seek the Lord like 10 times more.
So I go hard, wasn't raised with a soft spot. Young guy, bring the fire like a matchbox. I was made from the dust near the bedrock. Black face built like the sun, I'm the mascot. Sharp blade with a grip like a stick shift. Gear switch, never break, this a long trip. Eyes straight, clear view like a LASIK. Patient, never drowning off the basics. Born a prophet, I belong on top. Got the fire on my tongue, don't need a hot wing spot. Hit the highways and the byways where they all bust shots. Waiting on to find an hour like the time on clocks. Got a lot of people dreaming they was taking us down. Trying to use the media to put a 6 in the ground. Never worry about a trader, they don't roll with us now. Ain't no different from a dog,
Mic
they
check,
belong in
mic
the...
check, mic check, mic check, mic check. All praise to the Most High. All praises to the Most High. Hey, shalom, 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 Israel. Most High in Christ bless. Hey, this is another episode of Sayings of the SEERS. All praises. Hey, I'm Officer Hared. We got
Officer Lagaboa.
Officer Eliakim. And then we got the reader, man. All praises, man. Get him on there, man.
Finally, you know who you're hearing when the scriptures is coming out.
All praises, bro. All praises. Who are you, bro?
Brother Gamaliel.
Brother Gamaliel. All praises, man. My God. All right, y'all. So we're going to jump into it. All right. The episode of the class.
Wait a minute.
What's up?
It's Feast of Dedication, bro.
It is.
It's Feast of Dedication. Hey, you know what I'm saying? This ain't like Christmas and New Year's where you celebrate one day and then, you know, you go home and do what you do. The Most High said 8 days.
Hell no.
What was that? What was that, bro?
It was delayed.
It was delayed reaction, bro.
The Most High said 8 days. We gonna kick it with joyfulness and gladness. So you know what I'm saying. I was in Denver for the opening. Shouts out to Denver, holding it down. We had a good time. How was it here in KC? Was it good?
Man, we kicked it, bro. We got it in, man. We got it in the best way we could. You know, all praise to the Most High. Okay. You know what I mean? All praises, man. Shouts out to Denver, man. Shouts out to Officer Deion, Officer Nahasa. Shouts out to them brothers out there. All praises, bro. All praises, man. We glad to have you back, man. You know
All
what I'm saying?
praises. All praises for safe travel. All praises.
Yes, sir, bro. All right, bro. So you got it out? You good now, bro?
Nah, I mean, we
Just
got
threw that wrench in there, bro. He said nothing the whole time before this.
Listen,
get over.
listen.
I'm fixing dedication.
We would be remiss
All
if
right.
we didn't mention
I got you.
Feast of Dedication
I
and the
understand.
Maccabees and what the Levite brothers did for the nation of Israel.
Right.
You know what
All
I'm saying?
praises, bro. Get that in Habakkuk 2. Get that in Habakkuk 2 and 2 right quick. All praise to the Most High, man. That's heavy what you said, because we grew up, celebrating Christmas, celebrating Thanksgiving, Halloween, 4th of July. We grew up celebrating all these things because while we was disconnected from this Bible, you understand? And because of our disobedience, our minds, our understanding was blocked from the Bible, But this is what the Lord promised in these last days, man. Let's read this.
The book of Habakkuk, chapter 2 and verse 2. And the Lord answered me and said, write the vision and make it plain upon tables, that he may run that readeth it.
Read on.
For the vision is yet for an appointed time.
This is what the Lord promised the blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans. He said, look, this vision, this Bible that was written up on tables, the tables going into the scriptures, the words, the actual papers of the Bible, of the scriptures. He said, look, this vision is appointed for a specific time, man. Read, come on.
But at the end, it shall speak.
It said, but that's some heavy stuff right there.
That's real.
It said, at the end, it shall speak. That lets you know where we are in prophecy.
That's right.
You understand? Just us now understanding the Maccabees, understanding, John 10 and 22 never went nowhere. Like it was always there. While we was in Christmas, while we was in church celebrating Christmas, funneling through the Bible, like, man, where the hell is the Christmas tree? Where the hell is the star on top of the tree? Where are these white angels at? While we was looking through that, some of us stumbled across John 10 and 22 because we seen winter. What the hell is he walked on the dedication? It never went anywhere. We just didn't understand it. And this is why the Lord said, hey, at this appointed time, this Bible is going to start to speak. We're going to start to understand why Christ walked up in Solomon's porch. Let's read that right quick, just in case we got some new people. Just in case we got some new people. John chapter 10, verse 22. Everything we do, we can explain with the scriptures. This is unlike your other religions, these other doctrines. When we go into the scriptures, you see us doing something out. We celebrating these feasts. We going off the full moon and not the dark moon. Like we can go in the scriptures and show you and prove to you, why we doing the things that we doing. All right.
That's right.
Go ahead.
John chapter 10 and verse 22.
Go ahead.
And it was at Jerusalem, the feast of the dedication, and it was winter.
That just amazes you. Like that scripture never went. It was always written there. But for some reason, we was just skimming past it, and it wasn't taught to us. You know what I'm saying? That at Jerusalem, our forefathers, they kept the Feast of Dedication in the New Testament. You don't read about the Feast of Dedication in the 5 books of Moses. That's because in the Maccabees, our forefathers got a victory over our enemies.
Right.
Unlike today, where we got our so-called leaders today, what you call them? What you call the women? What do you call the older women in the family?
Big mamas.
Big mamas. They got
Medea.
another word for it.
Medea.
The patriarch. The so-called matriarchs. They quick to forgive what happened, in the past. You understand? You talk about, we're going to talk about Jerry Jones and bring him up. A lot of these older women, a lot of the older generation, they quick to distance themselves. Hey, that happened, 50-something years ago. There's no reason why we bring this stuff up. That's not how our forefathers got down. You know what I'm saying? That's not how Maccabees got down. He always instilled in his kids, like, no, y'all got to understand who the enemy is. Read the law, understand the law, and fight for your people. And go take this temple, dedicate this temple back to our people, you understand? And Christ, what he said, he upheld that thing. he honored it. You understand? That was something that was done on earth. So this is what we doing. This is the remembrance as we coming back to the Bible. We remembering these things, man. You know what I'm saying? Because they was snatched from us. They was snatched from us. You got something, officer, you gonna say?
Yeah, I wanted to talk about that just for a second, you know, because you brought it out about being valiant.
I'm sorry, officer. He said turn the mics up.
Turn the mics up a little bit. Turn them up a little bit. Yeah, read that real quick.
We are not a hate group. We are not affiliated with any other Israelite group. Israel United in Christ is a nonviolent, Bible-based movement. We do not advocate or condone any acts of violence against any race, ethnicity, or gender. We advise that if anyone hears or knows of any plots to cause harm to anyone or to break the laws of the land, you must contact the proper authorities to bring awareness to any possible threat as stated in Leviticus chapter 5 and verse 1.
All praises. Let's go to 2 Maccabees chapter 6 and start at verse 1. Just to stay on dedication just for a minute. Because we as black people, Hispanics, we don't know how to fight for anything. You know what I'm saying? When we fight for something, it's to be a part of the oppression. We want to be a part of the society. We fight for equality and stuff like that so that the oppressors will recognize us. Yeah. But if we would read this Bible and understand our history, we would know what we were supposed to be fighting for, and we would know the tricks that the other nations, the heathens, the enemies use against us. You know what I'm saying? So let's read this. So, I mean, Feast of Dedication is not just a high holy day just to look past. It's a reason why Christ was celebrating in John 10:22. It's a reason why, because he wanted our people to understand how to fight. You know what I'm saying? How to fight for something and what to fight for. Let's read this.
2 Maccabees chapter 6 and verse 1. Not long after this, the king sent an old man of Athens to compel the Jews to depart from the laws of their fathers and not to live after the laws of God.
So when we look at the world, Bishop was bringing it out on Sabbath. The earth is given into the hand of the wickedness, right? The earth is given over to wicked. Everything you're seeing in the world right now is to get you to go away from God's laws. I had just posted something in the officers' chat about how they got like a little kid set up for witchcraft. You know what I'm saying? Like sorcery and stuff like that. So all you seeing is how to sin, how to sin, how to sin. But when you read the history of the Maccabees, you see Matthias and his sons standing up valiantly to keep God's laws. And now when you see in today's time, you see the Brooklyn Blitz, you see us marching in Detroit, us marching in Memphis. That's what we standing up valiantly for now, is God's laws, trying to get our people to come back and repent. You know what I'm saying? So this is a serious holiday, or a holy day. This is a serious celebration of rededicating the temple, or rededicating ourselves back to the Most High God and his laws. So it's not something to be taken lightly.
All praises, bro. All right, so where were you at? Where was you at? What was you just reading? Maccabees? Mm-hmm. All right, give me that. Since we're talking about that, talking about forgiveness, you know, the spirit of forgiveness that's on our people. Give me Romans 10:1. Give me Romans 10:1, and then cue up that first video. I know we talked about it last week with Jerry Jones, right? With the picture of Jerry Jones. But it's been more information coming out. More people are commenting on it. It was fresh when our show aired. But now we're seeing the mindset of our people towards it. All right? Give me that scripture.
Romans chapter 10 and verse 1. Brethren, my heart's desire and prayer to God for Israel is that they might be saved.
This is all our desire. This is why you go to the Barclays Center and you march for, you know what I'm saying, for our people to have the opportunity to look at their history, to find their history. Right. Because that's why we was out there. Right. A lot of people say, okay, man, you was out there for Kyrie. Okay, that's part of it, but we out there for the Most High God.
That's right.
You understand? We out there because this brother was attacked for just trying to look up who he was, his inheritance, his God, his birthright. You understand? And he was suppressing, giving 6 demands. You know what I'm saying? Because he just tweeted out. Was it a tweet?
Yeah, it was a tweet.
He just tweeted out Hebrews to Negroes. You understand? So that's why we was out there. We out there to wake up our people from the decayed state and let Kyrie and everybody else know, hey, if you standing for this Bible, we gonna stand with you. That's right. Understand? If you coming out of the laws of God, we gonna stand with you. But if you standing in front of us in opposition, we gonna run over you. Right. That's just as simple as that. That's you understand? So our heart desire is that all Israel be saved. Watch this. Read on.
Verse 2. For I bear them record that they have a zeal of God.
And this is kind of going to be the narrative as we go on. All of us got this zeal of God. You know what I'm saying? Hey, God took me to Colorado. God, you know what I'm saying, put the spirit in me to forgive this man who was trying to deny these young boys from getting into a school. You know what I'm saying? Everything is God. We all got that zeal of God. All right, read it again.
They have a zeal of God.
Go ahead.
But not according to knowledge.
But it's not according to knowledge. It's not according to the laws of God. That's right. You understand? Because that's not how our forefathers got down. When you give me that in Exodus right quick. Give me this in Exodus. Exodus chapter, I'm shooting from the hip when he told about the Amalekites. Here we go. Let's look at 17 and let's look at verse 14. Watch this. This is how our forefathers got down. This is the understanding or the knowledge of God that we need, that we missing. Watch this, verse 14.
Exodus chapter 17 and verse 14.
Go ahead.
And the Lord said unto Moses, write this for a memorial in a book, and rehearse it in the ears of Joshua.
Hey, what's the word memorial mean?
To remember.
To remember. To remember.
To remember. You know what I'm saying? This is what this is out of the Lord's mouth. He telling Moses, I want you to write this as a memorial. Read, come on.
Write this for a memorial in a book, and rehearse it in the ears of Joshua.
And I want you to keep rehearsing this thing in the young man's ear, in the next generation's ear. Rehearse what I'm about to tell you in their ears. Watch this, read.
For I will utterly put out the remembrance of Amalek.
This is what the Father wanted us to rehearse in the ears of the young men from generation to generation. Rehearse in their ears that guess what? I'm going to utterly take out Amalek. I'm going to utterly destroy Amalek, period. Why am I going to do this? Read verse 16.
Verse 16. For he said, because the Lord hath sworn that the Lord would have war with Amalek from generation to generation.
Because it's going to be a divine war between the two.
That's right.
We're never going to come together. We're never going to see eye to eye. We're never going to agree. You understand? It's just it's a divine, it's a spiritual war between the so-called blacks and the so-called whites. You understand? And particularly the so-called Jews. That's why when we was destroyed and they had a hand in that thing, the first thing they did was took our nationality. Say, hey, we the damn Jews. Do something. You know what I'm saying? Because they had the power to do it.
Yeah.
We didn't have no power. You understand? In these last days, this is what we've lost. This is why Paul said, man, I'm bearing them record. They got a zeal of God, but it ain't according to what God wants.
Exactly. Hey, you know what's heavy about this too? Like Esau practiced this.
Yes.
They know to pass down this from generation to generation.
Yes.
Which is why every year is a new slave movie coming out.
Right.
They're showing their kids, hey, this is what we did to them. This is how we got them. You got to keep reminding them who they are. Crazy, man.
It was something that they said yesterday on Patient Saints. I think the saying was, say it will and say it often. Say it often or say it will. That's what they keep, like, you know how it tells... and when you read that scripture, it was telling Moses to put in a memorial in a book and rehearse it. He was telling us to tell ourselves this over and over again. So you understand who the enemy is. But now that they've, got over us and tried to take our identity, they say it well and say it often so that they could try to boost themselves up to think that they're us. You know what I'm saying? So they're basically trying to do what God told us to do.
It's reverse.
You know what I'm saying? In reverse. Exactly. You know what I'm saying? So that's why it's so important for us to always be in the street teaching, always going over these laws, statutes, and commandments, always putting out videos, always putting out content, always trying to get the minds of our people to come back and be renewed in the spirit of God's laws, statutes, and commandments.
Right. All praises, bro. So, and this is where we at. And this is, and let's look at some of the results. You know, like Paul said, man, we got a zeal, but it ain't according to knowledge. It's not according to knowledge.
That's
bro.
right.
I don't want him right now. I want the Facebook posted up. It's the first one on Sands of the Seers. Yeah, let's is that one it? It's it's actual Facebook
Yeah,
post.
I think that's it. That's Facebook.
Okay, let's play this. You sure that's it? That don't look like it is. Yeah, it is. Yep, that's it.
But while we waiting, what's crazy about this too is our people, like with those slave movies I mentioned.
There you go.
They put these slave movies out, and our people say, we tired of seeing the slave movies. We tired of seeing us like that. So we've been so destroyed to the fact that we want to forget all the bad stuff, but everything that's so-called good, that's all we talk about.
Exactly.
Which is making us forget the trauma that we went through. So now we forget where we came from and who we were meant to be.
And then when you bring it up and try to put it in their minds so that they have an understanding of it, so that they can see in the Bible who they are and see who the enemy is, then they say, oh, well, you have racial idolatry.
Right.
Because you're trying to show people where they fit in all of this or why these things happen. You know, we have to speak about what happened to our people so that you get an understanding of who you are, so that you have an understanding like, okay, we did go through this. We're not bringing up slavery all the time just because. We want to bring up the good things, like we bringing up dedication. This was good things that our people did. King David is good things that our people did, but you don't identify with them. You don't identify with the good things that our people did in the Bible. You don't identify when our people was righteous. You don't identify with Isaiah, Eli. You know what I'm saying? You don't Elijah. You don't identify with those people who kept God's laws, because you're not keeping God's laws. So we have to bring out, hey, you went into slavery because you didn't keep the commandments of God. You going into the people that put you into slavery, they're your enemies. They're trying to keep you away from God. We have to bring those things out. That's not racial idolatry. That's racial identity.
Right.
That's biblical identity, trying to restore you from a decayed state.
But you know what it really is? If they can disconnect us from the punishments that we went through and the people who really did that to us, they can now change the narrative of how Christ is coming back. Mm-hmm. So now Christ can save everybody because nobody went through anything worth him killing a whole nother nation for it.
Exactly. Mm-hmm. You're 100% right.
Let's play this.
Well, tonight we hear from one of 6 black former students who tried to enter an all-white high school in Arkansas when a crowd of white students, including now Cowboys owner Jerry Jones, surrounded them. It happened 65 years ago, and a photo of that incident unearthed this week by the Washington Post is getting a lot of attention. Jones says that he was just a, quote, curious 15-year-old who wanted to see what was going on and did not take part in the confrontation. Our Scott Gordon has an exclusive update.
September 1957, North Little Rock High School. 6 black students try to go inside after they're invited to meet with the superintendent. Off to the side, there's Jerry Jones, then a 15-year-old sophomore. And there, in the long-sleeved plaid shirt, is 17-year-old senior Harold Gene Smith.
The only thing I really remember about that is that they stood right there on the steps where we couldn't get in. And they were making sounds and noise and saying things that, but that didn't really bother us. But my father had already prepared us for that.
Hey, stop.
Smith, now 80.
Stop. Because you will look at that video and it's meant to make you think that that's so long ago that, you know what I'm saying, just forget about it. That when you see the video, when you see the picture, it's supposed to make you think like, hey, this didn't happen. This happened a long, long time ago. Don't worry about it no more. Mm-hmm. But here it is. This man is an older gentleman now. He's still alive. He's still telling his story. Mm-hmm. You You know what I'm saying? He's still telling what happened to him. He still has the trauma and the effect of trying to walk into a school and being harassed. How do you think that affected him as a father? How do you think that affected him as a grandfather? How do you think that affected him as a husband? What do you think that did to his confidence? Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? As a man. You know what I'm saying? Knowing that he has that trauma that he dealt with. So you can't just sweep it under the rug and say, oh, that was a long time ago. I was just curious. This man's still living with that. He had to live his whole life through that. You know what I'm saying? You think that he properly got an education going through that? You think he was sitting there listening in class, getting all the education he was supposed to get? He was probably thinking about, man, if I go outside the wrong door, they going to get me. You know what I'm saying? I better run this way. I better, you know what I'm saying? I better try to eat lunch over here in the corner. He was thinking about how to survive through that. He wasn't thinking about that education, but he's still dealing with the after effects of what happened to him.
Deion?
Knows and saying things that, but that didn't really bother us. So my father had already prepared us for that.
Smith, now 82 and living in Ohio, remembers the confrontation didn't last long.
We just stood there. Once they blocked us from going in, we turned around with the preachers and went back home.
Smith, who happens to be a lifelong Cowboys fan, says he learned years ago that Jerry Jones was one of the faces in that group of white students. But it wasn't until the Washington Post published the picture a few days ago that most people knew Jones was there, and reporters asked about it.
That was, 65 years ago, and a curious kid.
I can't believe that he was just curious.
Smith, one of only 3 of the 6 black students still living, says he forgives Jones.
I say if he had any animosity, I don't know, but I have forgiven him for what.
That seems very coerced to me. To say I can believe that he was curious, bruh. You can look at the faces of all them little boys out there. They was ready for smoke.
Right.
They was ready for something to pop off. So you to say that he's curious, bruh, somebody got to him and paid him back door.
Yeah, man. This is, and this is why we bringing it up. This is why Paul said, man, we got a zeal of God, but it's not according to knowledge. You know what I'm saying? We the most forgiving people on the planet Earth. You know, for the things that happen to us, what we go through. How do you understand this? You know what I'm saying? Like, at any moment, this could have went totally left.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Just 2 years before, as we looked up, just 2 years before, put a little Emmett Till's picture up.
Just 2 years before.
Yeah, just 2 years before this. This is what they did to Emmett Till. Emmett Till, Jerry Jones was the same age.
Right.
14 years old. One got a chance to speak and to say, not even apologize, just to say he was a curious kid. The other one is in a morgue. You understand? Buried. Over a lie. Who also was a curious kid. Who also, you know, I just seen the movie and just doing a little research. He wasn't even from the South. You understand? Somebody that just was going down, visiting, and really didn't understand the dynamics of the South.
Mm-hmm.
You understand? And so here you got two 14-year-olds, and you see the dramatic the shift. And who's apologizing for this?
Right.
Who was a curious kid? These was curious kids who did that to Emmett Till, bro.
Mm-hmm.
That's correct. Those mobs that happened with Emmett Till, those mobs that happened, as he putting on the screen, thank you, those mobs had curious kids in them.
Right. And
they was following after their fathers. They was following after their mothers. They had curious kids when they was hanging people, when they was burning our people. You know what I'm saying? They had curious kids in them. So that's not like a justified, oh, I was curious. Okay, if something would have popped off, you would have been just as curious enough to hang one of the brothers or burn one of the brothers.
Mm-hmm. And them is cold words, bro, because you got to think about the climate that was set back then. The climate that, like you showed in the picture, they was hanging us. They was sicking dogs on us. All these different things they was doing on us. So when you say you curious at that time, that means you really want some of the action.
Right. You was there going. Put that other picture up there. Hoping that you was gonna go to a public lynching.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? That's what they did during this time period. Blow it up.
And there was kids in those mobs.
Yeah, these
14-year-olds.
Yeah, a lot of these people are still living, still walking around, still somebody's grandma that has rehearsed in their kids' ears that you are inferior, blacks, you understand, and they superior. And if you think anything else, you're wrong. You understand? So this is what Paul is saying right here. Yeah, get that oppression, that Ecclesiastes. That's a good script. It's a good script. You know what I'm saying? Because it should make you mad. It should do something to you once you see this.
You should want vengeance. But, you know, the pastor and everybody else has swayed you away from, you know, that goes back to what you were saying about they have a zeal of God. They have a zeal, but not of God. Because all through this Bible, it taught you to seek vengeance. The Most High said, I'm going to have vengeance for you. I'm going to step up and I'm going to fight for you. You know what I'm saying? I gave, what did he say, Egypt for your ransom. So the Most High God has always been a God of vengeance. You know what I'm saying? But you're taught not to pray for vengeance, forgive everybody, when that's not what the scriptures was talking about. The Most High wants you to have vengeance for the wrongdoings against your people, you know, the evildoers. You know what I'm saying? But you're not taught that. And so when anybody stands up and says, hey, nah, we need that get back. We need that vengeance. We praying that the Most High have vengeance on our enemies, deliver us from our enemies. It's foreign to you. You're scared of that thing. You know what I'm saying?
You got that?
Yes, sir. Ecclesiastes chapter 7 and verse 7. Surely oppression maketh a wise man mad.
And when you see this oppression, that should make you mad. That shouldn't make you say, hey, you know what? I can understand where Jerry Jones is coming from.
Right.
Nah, that should piss you off. You understand? Because you being oppressed. You still being oppressed to this day. That makes a wise man mad. And that just shows that us as black people, man, we not wise. We don't have true wisdom. We think we got wisdom, but it's not according to what God declared is wisdom. Wisdom is understanding the oppression that you in and understanding, okay, how did I get here and what can I do to get out of here? You understand? And the only thing is the laws. A lot of these things, you know, they try to say, well, black people are not cursed. Listen, blacks, Hispanics are cursed. We're under the curse. It literally tells you that in Isaiah. Can you get that in Isaiah? Can you find me that? It literally tells you. We are a cursed people, man. Because why? We love sin. We hold sin in great dignity. We follow the world. We follow everything. We eat up everything this culture, this society gives us. We eat it up. We for sale. You understand? It's certain things like I was watching a podcast and the brother was making a good point. It's certain things that shouldn't be for sale. You know what I'm saying? It's like, man, when, you know, the government, they got different things, different lands, different documents. You can't buy certain lands. You understand? Period. I don't care how much China, how much money China try to offer. They're not going to sell certain things, certain documents for nuclear, how to build a nuclear head. They're not going to sell it because why? It's not. I don't want that in your hands.
Right.
I don't want that in your possession. And it's the same thing. Like if you go into their community, you know, you got the different Chinatowns, you got Korean towns, you got the Rabbi Amalek neighborhood. Listen, you can't go in their neighborhood and say, hey man, let me buy this building right here. You understand? I got this X amount of dollars. Let me buy this building. No, they're not gonna sell it to you because they understand the value that brings.
Right.
Yeah.
It's bigger than it's worth more than $1. And we quick, like I said, man, we quick to sell ourselves short, bro. Especially when it come to money, we quick to sell ourselves short. And like you said, you made that point. Somebody talk to that brother. Somebody talk to him for you to come out. That's damage control. You understand? You to come out and you understand. How can you grow up during that time period? And I want to make this point too. When you're talking to your grandmothers and your grandfathers, even though their minds is seared with a hot iron, they still remember the things that they was going through, the oppression that they was going through during that time period. Yep. They let you know, hey, it was when I was a little girl, it was certain streets that I couldn't pass. When the
sun went down.
When the sun went down, you couldn't be outside. They let you know. You know, I was a little girl in 1954. It was certain areas we couldn't go to, but still they Christianized.
Yep.
To believe, and the same after they make that same breath. Can you hold the door for the little white lady? You know, and like, man,
Merry Christmas, baby.
Merry Christmas, baby. Look, they got their little Christmas gifts up. You know, that's because we've been our foremothers. They've been seared with a hot iron, bro, with Christianity, and it's a spirit of forgiveness. And not only that, give me Pac-Man, man.
That's the exact reason why them shackles came off.
Yeah, that's why the shackles. Matter of fact, get that Deuteronomy 28. Deuteronomy 28. 48.
The book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28 and verse 48.
Yeah.
Therefore shalt thou serve thine enemies, which the Lord shall send against thee.
Because we don't want to serve our God with the high holy days that he gave us. The Bible says you're going to have to serve your enemies. You don't want to do what I'm telling you, the Feast of Dedication. You want to serve Christmas? Okay, you're going to have to work. You got to work for the rest of your life. And you're going to have to pray that the 401k is there when you get done. You're going to have to pray that your Social Security is there at the end of this thing. You understand? And Lord's will, you can retire by the age of 70.
Right.
You work all your life.
Time to die.
At 70 years old, now you can retire. And most people die within what?
Yeah, at least 5 or 6 years.
5-6 years, you're done. You understand? So read on.
Thou shalt serve thine enemies, which the Lord thy God, which the Lord shall send against thee, in hunger, and in thirst, and in nakedness, and in want of all things. And he shall put a yoke of iron upon thy neck until he have destroyed thee.
And that's one of the prophecies. The prophecy was, hey, he going to put a yoke of iron upon your neck to control you, to withhold you from different, to to shackle you. Nah, you ain't running no damn where until you come to a state where you destroyed. A state where you assimilated. You say, okay, you know what? I give in. I'm going to celebrate the things that you've given me willingly.
Right.
That's a state of destruction. Now I can take the shackles off. Now you can run around. You can run around and you can have this illusion that you free. But we not free. You understand? I'm going to shove certain scriptures down your throat. That's why Christians, they always quote, God so loved the world, John 3:16. What else they quote?
3:28.
Galatians 3:20. There's no difference between Jew and Greek. I can do all things through Christ which strengthens me.
No weapon formed against
no
me.
Weapon. These are scriptures that have been thrown at us that they just regurgitate and we have no understanding of them.
Right.
No understanding of them. You know what I'm saying? So this is where we are in time, and this is the result of it. Give me Pac-Man right here.
So it's growth. I will always, forever, owe the Browns family and Cincinnati Bengals to the utmost respect.
So you mentioned Jerry Jones. Now I feel a different type of way. I know that a picture surfaced, an old picture surfaced.
I don't give a damn what he did back in 1957. 57?
Yeah.
Man, can you even count back that far?
And see, that's the same.
Man, I don't want to hear that shit.
That was my argument
Jerry
too.
Jones, I love you. Fuck him. I don't give a fuck what they say. I'm a Cowboy, and I got Jerry tatted on my body, man. I'm forever Jerry Jones.
Stockholm
I'm in part
syndrome.
of the family. I don't know what they talking about. You get what I'm saying?
Stop.
I've seen Jerry Jones.
And this is the mindset of blacks all across the country.
That's right.
It's a mindset of blacks all across the country. I don't care what they did to my fathers, what they did to the rape, the robbery. I don't care. You understand? This one white man did good by me. Underpaid me for the talents that God gave me.
Right.
You understand? That's it. And I got blonde hair. I want to be him.
Right.
If I could be white right now, I'd trade it in. That's what Pac-Man is saying right now, bro. And it's amazing because you don't hear the white man saying this, bro.
Right.
You don't hear him on TV praising a black man. Hey, man, I love Bill Cosby. I thank Bill Cosby for everything. And think about how many people how many Caucasians Bill Cosby employed.
Right.
None of them has ever came out to his defense. Hey, I don't care how many women come out and say that. I love Bill Cosby. He took my family out. You never heard. Unless I'm wrong.
Nah, I ain't never heard that.
You understand? Think about this, man. But this is what you hear from our people. And not only this, with Deion Sanders as well. It goes, all this runs hand in hand. It's very deep. And this is why athletes cannot be our leaders.
Exactly.
This is why we cannot put so much stock in brothers and sisters that's in entertainment.
That's right.
You know what's crazy about this too? You only hear this type of mindset towards the rich white people. Mm-hmm. Somebody in the hood, if you get a random white person in the hood call you nigga, the black person be ready to fight. Mm-hmm. But somebody rich with some money, they call you a nigga. He didn't mean it like that.
That's what he said.
Exactly. That's what he said.
That's literally what he said.
It's crazy.
He got money. Yeah. He take care of me. He put all these diamonds and all this stuff on me and gave me the ability to do what I'm doing. Mm-hmm. I tatted him I tattooed another man on my body. It's a grown black man. It's a house Negro. You know what I'm saying? Like, bro, imagine a tattoo artist when you walk in there. Hey, what you want? Jerry Jones. Give me Jerry Jones.
Bro, you play one of the most masculine sports on earth, and you getting a white man tatted on you.
It's crazy, bro.
But hey, keep playing that video. It's a little bit more. Just keep playing it.
Do more shit for black athletes than anybody in the world.
Go back
and that's what I was saying. I feel like I
don't give a fuck what they say. I'm a cowboy, and I got Jerry tatted on my body, man. I'm forever Jerry Jones. I'm in part of the family. I don't know what they talking about. You get what I'm saying? I've seen Jerry Jones do more shit for black athletes than anybody in the world.
And that's what I was saying. I feel like
So you hear him say he did more for black athletes. He didn't say nothing about black people. Jerry Jones has amassed a fortune off black people. Of course he's going to take care of his breadwinners, his thoroughbreds. You know what I'm saying? They're gonna run faster. They're going to talk like this when you take care of them. That's good economics, like it talks about in the Willie Lynch letter. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, you can run fast. I'm going to take care of you, nigga. You can jump high. I'm going to take care of you, nigga. You know what I'm saying? Like, look at Michael Irvin. Look at Emmitt Smith. You know what I'm saying? He took care of all of them. But when I hear this type of rhetoric, oh, he did more for black athletes, go to that, what is it, 12 Years a Slave clip. Let me show y'all something, man. It's the same mindset. This is the mindset that Jerry Jones has. Let's play this thing. And while we got a minute, make sure you subscribe to IUIC TV. And while you own IUIC TV, there's a new documentary.
Yeah, that thing's good.
What is it called? Spoken for the voiceless. That is amazing documentary. An amazing documentary, a 10 out of a 10. You know what I'm saying? Let's share that thing. Let's get that thing everywhere so our people can understand the setup of Christianity. All right, we good? We ready? All right, play that thing.
Got for James, 295 pounds. It's real good, boy. It's real good. 182 for Platt. How much can even an average nigga pick a day? 200 pounds. This nigga ain't even average.
That's what Jerry Jones say to all the people who don't make the team. This nigga ain't even average. He can't run a 4.4. He can't run a 4.5. He can't catch 300 yards in a game. This nigga ain't even average. He can't be on my team. I ain't taking care of him. I ain't dealing with him. But play.
112 pounds for Patsy. 512. Your menfolk got no shame letting Patsy outpick you. They ain't yet come. She swung lower than 500 pounds. Queen of the field, she is.
That's what Jerry Jones calls it. That's what Jerry Jones say to Michael Irvin. Hey, king of the field, MVP. He got 1,000 yards this year. Hey, the playmaker, Emmitt Smith, had him Pac-Man Jones. Ooh, you got 10 interceptions this year. Oh yeah, you the king of the field.
You make me some good money.
You making
boy.
me good money. These other niggas ain't even average, but you making me good money, boy. Yeah, I'm gonna take care of you. He wrap his arms around him so lovingly. You know what I'm saying? Hey, Pac-Man, you like a son to me. You like this to me. This is the mindset of the slave owner. I'm gonna take care of the ones that's good and extraordinary. Like Officer Reb just said, you underpaid for the talents that God gave you. You should be running the team. Your talents is what's getting these things to happen and getting the people to watch and getting the people excited. The money he gave you isn't a fraction of what you should be having. But this is the mindset. This is the mindset of our people. This is the mindset of the slave owner, Jerry Jones, right here. Like, oh yeah, he take care of athletes. Of course he gonna take care of athletes. You bring him money.
Right.
Exactly.
Right. Hey, you know what's crazy? What we missed earlier in the clip of the brother that was there from the Little Rock 6? One of the first things he said, he's always been a Dallas Cowboys fan. Damn. So once that got out there, Jerry Jones had a way to slide in. You know, Esau, they do a diligent search. So when this article came out and they probably looked up these men like, man, let's see which team they play for. They like. So now I can slide in, make them say this, give them a little change, and it's going to blow over. Yeah, give them season pass.
Because, wow, we for sale.
Exactly.
We for sale, bro.
Let's take a picture together and show unity. I guarantee you that's coming. You know, it ain't came yet, but I guarantee he going to be sitting in the skybox next week with Jerry Jones.
And they're going to
be
TV.
holding hands like, hey, we fought for unity. Get out of here, man.
Yep. Hey, give me Putin's allies. Let's read this right quick.
All right. It says, I can't see it.
Hey, let's get a script real quick while we pulling this article up. Get Ecclesiastes 4 in verse 1.
The book of Ecclesiastes, chapter 4 and verse 1. So I returned and considered all the oppressions that are done under the sun. And behold, the tears of such as were oppressed, and they had no comforter.
So we cried night and day from the oppression that we go through, but we are the ones that have no comforter. Read.
And on the side of their oppressors, there was power.
On our oppressors, they run this whole world. They have power to continue to oppress us to this day, whether it be through the schooling system, the medical system, all these different things that the oppressor runs. They have power to continue our oppression. Read.
But they had no comforter.
We had no comforter. But what are you seeing now? You seeing the Most High sending back the saviors. You seeing him send us back with tidings of good cheer. Like it said in Isaiah, was it 61? The Most High is sending back the saviors on earth because we are the ones that had no comforters. Now we understand this Bible. Now we're able to show our people the oppression that's done under the sun and how we're going to get out of it.
That's right.
Let's read this right quick.
All right. It says, Putin ally blames crisis on rise of black U.S. music stars. He calls descendants of African-American slaves.
So what we bringing this up for, because everybody seems to understand what the issue is except for us.
Right.
You know, this is why we diving into this, because I want y'all to hear with one of Putin's allies, one of the regional governor, in his regime, what his thoughts are for the decay of Russia, why Russia is in an uprising right now. Watch this.
All right. It says, in a sign of the times for Vladimir Putin's twisted Russian regime, a regional governor has been backed by the state Duma after saying the descendants of African-American slaves are to blame for the country's growing crisis.
So this is his thoughts. He's saying the descendants of African-American slaves. Notice what he's saying.
Mm-hmm.
He's letting you know, you Negroes went on cargo slave ships. You came over here on cargo slave ships into slavery through the various corners of the earth. If another Negro come and say that slavery did not happen,
right,
I'm telling you, bro.
Amazing.
It's amazing. Everybody knows what's going on except for us.
Except for you.
You understand? Go ahead, read on.
Vadim Shumkov, governor of the Kurgan region, said Russian society was collapsing, as exemplified by the rising rate of suicide and depression among young people.
So they over there killing themselves. You know, they children is over there depressed. How you depressed and you one of the wealthiest countries in the world.
Right.
You understand? But they over there depressed and they over there committing suicide. Because this is what they do, because you know what? They not built like us. This is what the Lord said. It's going to be two nations, and these two nations is going to be totally different. One is going to be stronger, mentally stronger, physically stronger. We're going to be stronger than the other.
That's right.
You understand? So when we get down to our very low, it's just like, okay, you know, we're going to rob Peter and we're going to play Paul. When they get down to their very low, they looking for a window to jump out, to commit suicide. I don't know if y'all remember what Madoff, the brother, y'all remember Madoff about a year? How long was it? Was it about 10 years ago when he made off with all that money? and you had those Edomites, he basically took their retirement.
That's right.
And what did he do? Bernie Madoff. And what did they feel in their mind was the end result?
I gotta go.
I gotta die. I gotta kill myself. I can't make it. But you got blacks and natives making it on checks $7.25 as we speak right now.
Right.
Laughing, having a good time. You understand? This is the difference between the two people. So over in Russia, you got people, you got their kids committing suicide, depressed amongst the young people because of what? The popularity of black music. Did you read that line yet?
Yeah, and it can all be traced back to the popularity of black American stars in the music industry.
This is what he's tracing it back to. So they sitting back and analyzing the climate of the country. What's changed?
What's going on here?
What's going on? The popularity of these Negroes that we sold into captivity. For some reason, America then lost
control.
They didn't lost control. They didn't lost when we all sat down and formulated a plan to suppress these Negroes to the bottom of society. Now y'all let Negroes pop up and come over here and bring this music, tour the world. You know they got pissed off when she came over there. You see what happened to her,
right? Yeah.
You understand? And that was just like that was a lynching.
Yeah.
For the whole world to see.
So y'all come over
here. Get 10 years for some cannabis oil. And it's nothing that nobody can do about it.
Now they're saying they can't find where she at.
That's crazy. You know what I'm saying? But guess what? The NBA still goes on. I mean, the WNBA
still goes on.
Yep. Still rolled on. You understand? Everybody was Britney this, Britney that. But you still went out there and played. You understand? Because everybody's for sale. Right. Everybody's for sale. But anyway, read on. Go ahead.
It says, in a bizarre rant posted on his official Telegram channel, Shumkov described a gaping hole of emptiness at the center of Russian culture, which he argued was not the result of poverty, war, or rampant corruption, but an underestimation of the importance of native national culture. Many of our children are already growing up without knowing or remembering their kindred tribes.
See, so he's saying, look, y'all forgot we supposed to be teaching them who we are in this Russian society. We supposed to be teaching them, listen, we came from the Khazar Mountains. This is who we are. You know, pride yourself. Yeah. You are Russian. You understand? All this other stuff that you learning? No. You son, or you are a darn Edomite. You're a young white man. You're a privileged man. You understand? We came in society and we got these Negroes in captivity. All these paintings that you see in these churches behind us of black people, this is what we conquered all them.
Right.
We beat them down.
We beat them down. Don't worry about all that. You understand? And they saying, listen, y'all forgetting about all this. Go ahead.
Many of our children are growing up without knowing or remembering their kindred tribe, he lamented, claiming that they are.
And hold on, let's make this because I feel a Christian. That ain't part of the 12 tribes of Israel.
Right.
That ain't the tribe that he's talking about.
He's talking about Esau, Idumean, Edom.
Thank you. That tribe. You understand? It's a whole nother. It's 12 tribes of Israel. Let's be clear on that. Right. You understand? But go ahead.
He lamented, claiming
not 13 tribes. 12 tribes. Can we read? Give me to the 12 tribes, bro.
James 1:1.
Give me that thing, bro.
The book of James, chapter 1 and verse 1. James, a servant of God and of the Lord Jesus Christ, to the 12 tribes.
How many?
12 tribes.
13.
12 tribes.
I just want to be clear. To the 12 tribes that are what?
Which are scattered abroad.
Not in your homeland.
Right.
Not learning your native culture.
Right.
To the 12 tribes that are scattered abroad.
That's right.
Okay, let's go back to the article.
Okay. Claiming that they are instead singing songs written by the descendants of African American slaves.
So you mean tell me they over there talking about FRF? Yeah, that's what they over there singing.
They over there listening to Glorilla.
You understand?
Lil
What's
Durk
some other songs, man? I'm drawing a blank.
Shoot, they depressed. They probably listen to the XXXTentacion.
Hey, who was that?
Some young cat. He killed himself.
He didn't kill himself. He got killed.
He got killed. One of the little cats killed themselves.
Lil Durk.
They listening to
King Von
and stuff.
They over there listening to that drill music. You understand? Listening to this music.
They over there listening to Ice Spice.
Megan Thee Stallion. That's what they over there listening to. And listen, this is what David said. Listen, I don't want to jump ahead. Go ahead, read on. Watch this.
It says, singing songs written by the descendants of African American slaves, often playing the ape and imitating the habits and language.
Hey man, listen, bro. This is how they feel about you. They saying they children is imitating apes. Often playing the ape.
And imitating the habits and language, brimming with, frankly, second-rate quasi-cultural vulgarity.
Hey, can you look up what quasi mean?
They talking about songs like WAP. They said they talking about songs like WAP.
Right.
Exactly.
Sometimes you got to Google these words.
Because they're saying that this hip-hop culture is not a real culture.
At all. Right.
You know what I'm saying? Quasi. It says, seemingly, apparently, but not really. Supposedly, seemingly, apparently, allegedly, reportedly.
Partially. All right, let's go back. Let's see what it says. Let's see what is he saying? You got to dissect it. What he's saying.
It says, often playing the ape and imitating the habits and language, brimming with.
Brimming means is bubbling up. It's getting to the brim. Go ahead.
With frankly second-rate quasi-cultural vulgarity,
which is vulgar as hell. This is vulgar. It's seemingly is vulgar. This music that we putting out that they pushing to our kids, he letting you know it's vulgar. He letting you. What's the definition of vulgar? Give me some synonyms of vulgar.
He's saying
obscene, nasty,
obscene.
Right.
Give me some synonyms.
Unclean.
Unclean. That's a good one.
It's like he's saying y'all trying to say this is part of y'all culture, but it really ain't.
It's not a part of y'all culture. Y'all, we got pictures on the walls of who you was before you went into captivity. This is that's why I said that.
Yeah.
Yeah, tasteless, gross, crass, rude, indecent, unrefined,
lacking sophistication.
Right.
There's no sophistication in this whatsoever. This is what let's read it again.
Says, often playing the ape and imitating the habits and language, brimming with frankly, second-rate quasi-cultural vulgarity. Clinging to this secondariness.
He said we cling to secondary. We cling to being on the bottle. We cling to this. Go ahead.
Being proud of it.
And we proud of. Give me Lamentations 4 and 5, please.
That's a good one.
He said we cling to this and we proud of this stuff, man. And this is why they kids are committing suicide. They kids are having depression. So if it's affecting their kids, what you thinking is doing to young black men in this country.
And what it has been doing to the people in this country. Because, hip hop been going on, or our music been going on for a long time.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So, like, they just now feeling the effects of it. We've been feeling the effects of it.
You got it?
Yes, sir. Lamentations chapter 4 and verse 5.
And look, Christ said the same thing. Go ahead, watch this.
They that did feed delicately are desolate in the streets.
He said, man, there was a point in time where we wouldn't put nothing in our mouths, man. We was feeding delicately. It had to be filtered through, Leviticus chapter 11, Deuteronomy chapter 14. We wasn't just eating anything. We wasn't eating, even if it was lawful, we wasn't eating oxtails. You understand? Even if it was lawful. Yeah, we eating the best of the best.
Exactly.
Delicately. We was royal. Right. You understand? Read on.
They that did feed delicately are desolate in the streets.
He said, now all of a sudden, we desolate in the streets. Watch this, read.
They that were brought up in scarlet.
One point in time, we was brought up in royalty. Scarlet. Remember the leadership just brought up what the purple meant. It meant royalty. When you examine the scriptures, it was a color that you just couldn't get to. And we was brought up in this thing. But read.
They that were brought up in scarlet. Embrace dunghills.
Now we doing what?
Embrace dunghills.
So it sounds like the Bible is saying we embracing
Right.
Exactly.
Vulgarity.
Exactly
Vulgarity.
Yeah.
You know, secondariness, according to what he said. What was his name?
Apes.
Shavakos.
Shamkov.
That's what he's saying. That's what we embrace. And the scriptures say the same thing. You understand? And guess what? Give me Psalms 19. So what he is getting a result of is the prophecy that was laid out by our forefather David.
That's right.
I mean, Psalms chapter 9, verse 15, I'm sorry. I think I want to start up. Start at verse 13.
Psalms chapter 9 and verse 13. Yep. Have mercy upon me, O Lord. Consider my trouble, which I suffer of them that hate me.
This is David saying, have mercy on us and consider the trouble of them that hate me. All these nations hate us. This right here is this is letting you know it's clear. Listen, our kids are following these apes and imitating their language and their secondariness behavior. And proud of it. Read on, come on.
Thou that liftest me up from the gates of death, that I may show forth all thy praise in the gates of the daughter of Zion. I will rejoice in thy salvation.
Watch this, read.
The heathen are sunk down in the pit that they made.
You got to understand, this is what David saying. Have mercy on me so we can bring forth this information out to the daughter of Zion. Because guess what? It's going to come a time where the heathen, the very pit that the heathen has laid for us to fall into, now all of a sudden, their descendants is getting affected by it. That's how beautiful the Bible is. Because you got to remember, you got, when we was emancipated in, what was it, 1865? 1865, right? So from 1865 to about 1868, there was an introducing in the Jim Crow laws. Give me, do you got that article on the Jim Crow laws right quick? It's stages. It's stages to this of what they was doing to us. Put that on the screen right quick.
Can you go down? Okay. Jim Crow laws. Did you want to
scroll down?
Keep scrolling. All right. Jim Crow laws were a collection of state and local statutes that legalized racial segregation. Named after a black minstrel show character, the laws, which existed for about 100 years from the post-Civil War era until 1968.
So they put laws in to marginalize us, bro. Told us we was so-called free, and then put laws to keep us contained, keep us at the bottom, up until 1968. After 1968, what happened? Because we ain't gonna get into all that. But then until 1968, after that, it was a little period. Then they put crack on us. They started selling crack all through our communities.
All through the neighborhoods.
All through the neighborhoods.
Start destroying our leaders after that. You know, killing off like Martin Luther King,
Malcolm X,
the Black Panthers. No leaders. You know what I'm saying? COINTELPRO was heavy.
Marcus Garvey. This is what they was doing. Didn't want us to have no leadership. Think about the psychological effect that's going on with our people. All the way up until after the crack epidemic, here you got rap music.
Exactly.
Now all of a sudden it's a change. And those that grew up in the 80s, I was born in the 80s. You understand? So in the 90s was like 95 is like when you kind of was when I was open, my eyes was open, like things is changing. You went from, hey, you could walk down the street, borrow anything from your neighbor, you know, you playing kickball and all this, to now and all of a sudden now your eyes is open, is guns in your community. Now we all of a sudden we playing with guns, we finding drugs and everything in the community. Gangs in the community. You know what I'm saying? But when you was younger and brothers that's older than me, they knew when the time when the community was together. In the 70s and the late 70s, the early 80s, you understand, until that crack hit, and then bam, it just changed over time. It just changed quickly, you know what I'm saying? And then you had the introduction into rap music. Give me that video from the brother. I forgot his name. That's it right there. Give me that right quick. Hold on 1 second. Get that. Play that right quick. Because this is going into the scripture. It says the heathen are sucked down into the pit that they made for us, bro. All these little pitfalls that they did for us, the Jim Crow, the crack, now the weaponizing of rap music. Guess what? Now it's affecting them. Go ahead, play that.
As a way to break down the hood in the 80s. They're using music as a way to break down our communities now. It's digital. It's digital crack, right? So you can't name a Jewish drill rapper saying, yo, I'm a kite, spin the block, bend the kite, kill a kite. You can't find a Chinese motherfucker talking about, yo, konnichiwa, kill it, yeah, yellow man, kill, yeah, kill. Fuck out of here. We the only culture that creates self-hate, destructive music, and we promote it and market it. It's about self-hate. It's systematic racism. You understand?
And guess what? Like you said, it's systematic racism. They fund this. Esau funds this. The so-called white man, the Jewish man, they fund this. But now it's at your back door. Now he's coming out and he's telling you this is why our Russia is decaying, because of black music.
Because you following after it.
Right. You understand? And read that scripture again.
Psalms chapter 9 and verse 15. The heathen are sunk down in the pit that they made. In the net which they hid is their own foot taken.
And their own net, now their own foot, now their own descendants are getting taken in this. Now they losing sophistication. Now they worried about, hey, in the next 15, 20 years, what's going to happen? You understand? There's a shift going on. Now you got Negroes that's talking about they the real Jews and reading books and educating themselves, and our damn kids is on the decline.
That's right.
What the hell is going on? Read on.
Verse 16. The Lord is known by the judgment which he executed.
And this is why we read that scripture at first. And Habakkuk says, listen, my Bible is going to speak in the end. I'm going to be known by these judgments that I'm putting out forth in this earth. I'm executing these judgments. Now they all of a sudden, now they complaining about the very rap music that you use to destroy us.
Getting high on their own supply.
They getting high on it. They didn't understand the first rule of the streets, officer.
Right.
You understand? You never get high on your own supply. You're supposed to tell your children that.
Right.
We made this for them, not for you. You understand? I forgot how Smokey. Nah, go ahead.
Hey, go to Amos chapter 8. Amos chapter 8, we're going to start at verse 7.
Oh, my bad, bro. My bad. I'm sorry. Finish that out. 9 and 16. 9 and 16. My bad, officer. That last part, though. You got to read this last part.
Psalms chapter 9 and verse 16.
Go ahead.
The Lord is known by the judgment which he executed.
Go ahead.
The wicked is snared in the work of his own hands.
It said the wicked is snared in the work of his own hands. This Bible is a true book, bro.
Yes, it is.
You cannot get around it. Now all of a sudden, now you snared. Don't complain now. You understand? Just understand this is the Lord's judgment. This is the Lord's doings. And it's nothing to reverse it, nothing to change it. So when you, in hindsight, when you looking back, somebody may be sitting back saying, man, that's disrespectful. Why is he referring to us? No, he's telling you the truth.
He is telling you
He's telling you the truth. You black, you descendant of slaves. Y'all came over here on slave ships. Stop saying that slaves, Negroes on cargo slave ships didn't happen.
Right.
That's what they said. We had a barbershop talk. Oh, we didn't come over here on slave ships. We was already here.
We're the boats.
We're the boats. Negro, everybody on the planet Earth knows that we came on cargo slave ship except for the nigga cutting in the first chair. This is amazing, bro. It's amazing.
3 hours on the cut.
3 hours. Man, this brother was cutting his hair for 3 hours.
Oh,
no, it wasn't 3. It was an hour and a half.
Hour and a half.
We
The
was
whole
there.
time we was there.
We ain't gonna throw dirt on it. It was an hour and a half. When the moment we start talking, I'm like, bruh, to the moment we left, he's still cutting the same dude's hair.
Oh, damn.
But it makes sense because he don't know about our history. But all of a sudden, the brother gonna say Kyrie tweeted out something racist.
Right.
Wow.
You understand? This is the mindset of the Negro.
Negroes.
Go ahead.
And that's a reflection of our music. Let's read this real quick. Amos 8 and 7.
Amos chapter 8 and verse 7.
Read.
The Lord has sworn by the excellency of Jacob. Surely I will never forget any of their works.
So he's not going to forget any of our works, any of the sins that we've committed. Read.
Shall not the land tremble for this? And everyone mourn that dwelleth therein? And it shall rise up wholly as a flood, and it shall be cast out and drowned as by the flood of Egypt.
My bad. I wanted 9 and 10. I'm sorry.
Amos chapter 9 and verse 10.
I thought you
Amos
was about to bring
8
out,
and 9.
I thought you was about to bring out something deep.
8 and 9.
Amos chapter 8 and verse 9.
There you go.
And it shall come to pass in that day, saith the Lord God, that I will cause the sun to go down at noon, and I will darken the earth in the clear day.
All right, going into sin, read.
And I will turn your feast into mourning, and all your songs into lamentation.
He said, and all your songs are going to turn into lamentation. You got to understand that rap music is lamentation. Lamentation of, hey, you're going through poverty. You know, even though a rapper is in there talking about, yeah, I got 20 women, I got millions and millions of dollars. That's still lamentation. You're crying out. There's oppression in your music. Everything that you're talking about is destruction, death to your own people. That is mourning in your own. That's lamentation in your music. This is God's word being manifest in your music. Everything you talk about is destruction. There's nothing you talk about that's uplifting in your community or anything like that. Even I forgot about that. Captain Ben Zion, his video of teaching went viral because he was talking about Playboy Cardi's music because he said it was trash. And it is trash because it's going against our people. It's not teaching you who you are. It's not bringing you back to any type of glory. It's just getting you to be depressed, to kill one another. And this Russian dude is saying it. He's saying, hey, what y'all doing is affecting the people in our country. Y'all's mourning lamentation is affecting our country. We don't want that over here. Y'all keep that where y'all at. Y'all supposed to be destroyed. So even the Bible tells you that your music is a lamentation. Your music is mourning. Your music is death.
Go back to the article.
All right. So let me start from the top again. It says, many of our children are already growing up without knowing or remembering their kindred tribe. He lamented, claiming that they are instead singing songs written by the descendants of African-American slaves, often playing the ape and imitating the habits and language, brimming with frankly second-rate quasi-cultural vulgarity, clinging to the secondariness, being proud of it. Hence the growth of overt spiritual emptiness, depression, suicides, the lack of meaning in life, he wrote.
You see this? Hey, he 100% on the money. This is what music does to you, right? And this is what Esau understands. That's why they push hip-hop music in our community, bro. It is what it is. You know what I'm saying? You can't deny the truth. That's the truth. A lot of young black men are spiritually empty, depressed. You understand? That's why you get all that money and you still smoking and you still empty.
Right.
Still looking for something. You understand? And that's why you have a lack of meaning. How do you get all this money? Think about all these rappers that just got indicted, bro. How you get to this status? You've been waiting your whole life, bro, to get to this status, only to go backwards and still sell dope, sell weed, to get indicted, to get hit with RICOs. And you had a status where you could just sit back now and enjoy the rest of your life, and you didn't build wealth, generational wealth. Why? Because it's a lack of meaning of life. It's a lack of spiritual, it's a spiritual emptiness that's within us, that's within a lot of our people, a lot of these young people that's running around. A lot of us was affected like this. I'm not about to sit up here and say that I ain't never listened to rap music. That's why I can speak on it.
Right.
I know the mentality of it. It's deaf culture.
That's what it is.
It's what it pushes.
That's what it is.
You know what I'm saying? And this is what he's saying. And it could come out as Vogue, like, damn, why would Esau say that? Nah, it's the truth. It's the truth. But he's blaming it for the economy or the effects in Russia.
Exactly. And you know what's crazy is some of our people will read an article like that and they'll be like upset. They'll be like, why, he racist. He talking about black people, instead of identifying we do have a problem in our music. There is problems in our music. Our music is a deaf culture. We do need to think about what we are putting in our spirit. You know what I'm saying, et cetera, et cetera. We don't have a real culture. Hip hop is not a real culture. We won't say that. We'll say, oh man, they being racist towards us. They being racist to our culture. It's not a culture. It's deaf.
Hey, and that's what these other nations realize. They're all confederate on one accord to know rap music, media, all of it's enchantment against the black community. And now this enchantment starting to fall on them. They're like, whoa, wait a minute. That enchantment too strong.
Yeah. Hey, watch this. Read the next paragraph.
It says, though Shumkov did not mention Russian war against Ukraine as a possible reason for the bleak mood in the country,
because that's the real issue.
Yeah,
that's the real issue. You bombing a whole nother. You at war, and they uncertain. Like, man, at any time a bomb could drop on my house. You understand? But he want to blame it. He's blaming it on hip hop music, but he's telling the truth. He ain't denying it. But go ahead.
He went on to hint at a growing rift between ordinary Russians that he blamed on outside forces, claiming that a neglect of native culture has led to a biblical Cain and Abel situation.
Drop a bomb on that. Drop a bomb on that. Hold on, wait a minute. It said a biblical Cain and Abel situation. Is that not? Give me Hosea 4:1, please. Hosea 4:1, please.
The book of Hosea, chapter 4 and verse 1. Hear the word of the Lord, ye children of Israel.
Go ahead.
For the Lord hath a controversy with the inhabitants of the land.
Wow.
Because there is no truth, nor mercy, nor knowledge of God in the land.
You see this? It ain't no truth, it ain't no mercy, nor no knowledge of God in the land. Remember Cain. Cain was a liar from the beginning, according to the Bible. Ain't no truth. That's why it's when you push this music, he's letting you know it's creating a biblical Cain situation. In our ghettos, bro, in our hoods, guess what? Ain't no mercy. Are you hey, where your brother at? Am I my brother's keeper?
Right.
You understand?
In our movies.
All in the movies, everywhere. Hey, your brother's blood is crying out to me. This is a biblical Cain and Abel situation going on. Read on, come on. Even now, thinking about us, they trying to line us up to put us to death. Our own people. They got. I was watching the news the other day. They on there talking about Donald Trump being anti-Semitic. What are we gonna do about Donald Trump being anti-Semitic? And we should crush all anti-Semitism. But we all know, as I'm sitting back, I understand what a red
Red herring.
herring is.
Yep.
I understand what the distraction is. I understand that. Guess what? The only reason why this is on national news right now
Barclay
is because of the Barclays Center.
Yep.
It's because of the Barclays Center. When you talk to your family members, a lot of our family members that I talk to, when they talk to people, they say, bro, that was the most inspirational thing they have seen. This is words out of my cousin's mouth. That's one of the most inspirational things I've ever seen. And everybody I talk to, 90% say the same thing.
That's correct. That's what the vibration was when we went to Denver. And people seen it. They, it was a sister sitting in the barbershop. She was like, I showed it to my son, because I thought this was, I don't know why y'all was out there, but it was just something that was powerful to me.
Yeah.
And all the barbers were saying the same thing.
Bro, I had a cousin that's been locked up for years. Called me out of nowhere and said, bro, I seen y'all out there.
Right.
Didn't even know he was watching.
Didn't know you was watching. And this is what I'm saying. This is the effects of it, bro. We don't understand what we doing on this earth right now, man. We shaking this earth up, and they are trying to align us up to put us to death. Our own people. These Jews, not the Jews, the Christian church, these pastors, it's the reason why they quiet.
Yep.
They back huddled up doing something. Talking about something.
Hey, they still salty about the church blitz.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? But it is what it is, bro.
Yeah.
It is what it is.
They're like, is it safe to come outside? Yeah.
Right, but this is why when you read in Hosea, read that again.
Hosea chapter 4 and verse 1.
Right.
Hear the word of the Lord, ye children of Israel.
Go ahead.
For the Lord hath a controversy with the inhabitants of the land.
Go ahead.
Because there is no truth, nor mercy, nor knowledge of God in the land.
Nor knowledge of God. It's spiritual emptiness. Read.
By swearing and lying and killing.
Now, think about everything that he's naming right now. Swearing, lying, killing. That's a Negro's playbook.
Yep.
That's right.
Swearing, lying, killing. These are spirits that we get when we come into the truth. We battle. We battle swearing. We battle lying. We battle killing, looking at our brother with an evil eye. Because of what? The condition that we just came out of. All the rap music that we have consumed over the years.
Exactly.
Go ahead.
By swearing and lying and killing and stealing.
Damn.
And committing adultery.
Damn.
They break out. And blood toucheth blood.
The result of this is what? Blood touching blood. You got deaths. What he's saying right here, drill music, 100% on the money. What he's saying right here is that negative culture, it creates a biblical Cain and Abel situation.
Yep.
There's no way around that, bro. But like I said, like David said, that's the net that you put for our people to fall in, and now it's catching your kids by the foot. You know what I'm saying? So all praises to the Most High. Can't get mad at that. This is the great phenomenon that that old Willie told you that was going to happen. You understand? Read it. Is that it on that? I'm talking about the article.
That's a little bit more.
Go ahead.
He went on to hint at a growing rift between ordinary Russians that he blamed on outside forces. That's talking about that force. Claiming that a neglect of native culture has led to a biblical Cain and Abel situation where brothers pitted against brothers by foreign well-wishers who see them as expendable.
Damn.
Black man, when you neglect your native culture, you become Cain.
You become Cain.
That's why they took away you being an Israelite. They want you to kill from your brother, steal from your brother. He's saying it right here.
Look at him as expendable.
Right.
And he's showing, he's in so many words, he's telling you that what outside influences do. Because look at the words he used. Brothers pitted against brothers by foreign, in the quotations, foreign well-wishers. We thought that the white man, when he came over, put us in slavery, Adam Pac-Man Jones still thinks that his foreign well-wisher, Jerry Jones, is, doing something right by him. He's not doing anything right by you because you don't have the understanding of who you are. You don't have an understanding of your culture. So now this well-wisher is dragging you down, and he's trying to warn his people against it. But who's warning you? The prophets are warning you. The prophets are here trying to warn you against this thing. To come back to your culture, to come back to your heritage. Get rid of this death music that you be listening to.
Mm-hmm. And have some integrity about ourselves, man. All right. Is that it on that, officer? Was it that?
Nah, I think that's it.
Okay, let's get the next thing, last thing. Let's get Deion, man.
Old Deion, prime time. Again, hey, subscribe to IUIC Kansas City on YouTube. All right, we're trying to get to 6,000 viewers. Also, make sure that you are checking out IUIC TV. There's a documentary, Spoken, Voice for the Voiceless, right? Detailing how Christianity started, what was the effects of Christianity, and going through important history for our people to get some understanding of the Bible, all right? Check that out. All right, let's play this thing, because Deion Sanders has been in the news recently, or just this last weekend, because he was doing things down in Jackson State, which is a HBCU, historical black college universities. And he was making a big deal about those things, about the treatment of the historical black colleges, the facilities, the equipment. He was making a big deal about making changes to all those things. But now he's ending his contract early with the HBCU Jackson State to go to Colorado University. All right, so play this real quick.
How long you gonna play it?
It's like 3 minutes, I think, or first 2-3 minutes. Just play.
In any coaching job, you could have coached pro, you could have coached college, but you decided to coach HBCU. Okay.
And this was a month ago, right? It was recent. How long ago was this?
This was like a month ago. Yeah.
I'm a Chicago guy, and I grew up watching Walter Payton.
Yeah.
And he went to Jackson State. And,
Amen.
And why? Why HBCU?
Hold on.
Pause
it. Hey, Tyrone said, ain't no way y'all block people how y'all rushed Gino's church. We didn't rush. We walked up there. And this is how we block people.
Send them to Blockanda.
Play on.
Hey, sound guy's on fire today. Okay, we see you.
It's all God. Let me tell you how. I interviewed for 3 jobs, and I know I killed it. Not only did I kill it, I did the Dougie when I walked out that thing. I was so prepared and so on point and so progressive. I gave them a 3 to 5 year plan. This is how it was going to look under Prime. This is going to be a whole new beginning for your universities. This is what we're going to do. This is the kind of guys we're going to attract. These are the kind of kids. We're going to get kids that are smart, tough, fast, disciplined, with character. We're going to do this. The marketability is going to do that. We're going to take your profile up.
Pause.
We're going to have a new.
Don't he sound like a pastor?
Yes.
He does.
You know what I'm saying? This is how the pastors preach. You know,
prosperity.
Prosperity doctrine in the churches, man. From church to church, they all sound just the same. They got the same rhetoric. You understand? And this is how, that's how he was able to get down there and do the things that he did, because he's in the Bible Belt. And this is one of the things I didn't like about it. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, man, it's one thing, okay, I ain't gonna jump ahead. Go ahead, play on. I ain't gonna jump ahead.
New stadium here, or the one that needed it, we're going to do it. I mean, I had it all down. And God said, no. I'm going to close those doors because I need you to go right there. I said, come on, Lord, come on, man.
Hey, Cole. So he's telling you his intentions was never to go to HBCUs. It was never to go there. They didn't give him a job at a regular university. He's telling you what's happening, and he's trying to use it in the sense of, this is what God told me to do. This is what God wanted me to do. No, your intention was to go be a coach at a university. That didn't work out, so he said, all right, black community. And this is the MO for a lot of people. All right, things don't work out in mainstream like I want to. Let me go to the black community and feed off of them. And that's just like a
get their cultural
slap in the face.
Get their stamp of approval.
Exactly. I'm gonna go build up the hood, and then when they call me, I'm gonna just leave the hood alone or leave my people alone and go deal with them again, because that's where I wanted to be in the first place. But keep playing.
Hey, you ever notice when people want something to not sound as bad as it actually is, they throw God in there?
Thank
Always.
you. That's my
Always.
issue with it.
Always.
My issue is not, okay, bro. If you wanted to go coach at a Power 5, that's your prerogative.
Yeah, just
do
be
what
real.
you do. If you want more money, that's your prerogative. Bro. We change jobs all the time.
That's correct.
But don't throw God in there and say, well, God led me here and God told me and touched my heart and led me to the white man. Because that's what you're saying.
Right.
You better shut your
God took me from you Negroes and took me to the white man.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I'm imputing in my mind. But go ahead, though.
Exactly. But that's the problem I have, is that you made a whole tirade of what black HBCUs are going through, them not having the things that they have, but yet all of a sudden you will leave them to go somewhere else. Play that for me. Play that clip.
They always talking about I love the hood. I love the ghetto. I was the one said I wasn't the kind of nigga to make a little money and run to the suburbs. Yeah, you right. That's what I said. As soon as I got my check, I was gone.
Stop. So as soon as he got his check, he was gone. I love the hood. I love HBCUs. I want to see them do better. And then knowing that you're the catalyst for this change, you leave. You know what I'm saying? I could see if he built it up. All right, we got more coaches coming here. We got more people like me. I don't know who's another black coach on his level. But, hey, yeah, we got, this black coach, he's going to go to Grambling. This black coach is going to go to Southern. This black coach is going to go here. So now we got this whole system set up, and now I'll leave and go do something else. But you ain't even set nothing up. It's within the next 5 years, the HBCU is just going to go right back to where it was. So it shows that you were just using them to get to the platform you wanted to get in. And that's in a slick way. That's what he's saying right now.
And that goes right back to what we just read in that last article, the biblical Cain and Abel situation. Mm-hmm. Think about all these young boys who saw Coach Prime is at this school. Now I'm going to go here. Now he's going to give me something that these other schools can't give. Now he's just up and leaving them.
Mm-hmm. It is what it is, bro. Go ahead. Is this some more on this?
Yeah, keep playing a little bit.
Right there. I say, come on, Lord, come on, man. Now, that right there has more problems than a math book. HBCUs, am I lying? Okay. But he said, yeah, but I know they have more problems than a math book, but you got solutions. Not only do you have solutions, you got nerve. Not only do you have nerve, but you have believability.
Hey,
and
stop.
Wisdom
He's killing me.
Believability.
He's killing me. Go to Exodus chapter 20. Exodus 20 and verse 7. Like Officer Reb has stated, using God, because you know that's a
Bible belt.
Yeah, you know that's the Bible belt, and you know that plays on the strings of black people's heart. Whenever you start saying God, that's why Mace can go from being a rapper to being a pastor to being a rapper
back to Murder Mace.
Back to Murder Mace. You know what I'm saying? And then he could be all in Murder Mace, Puff Daddy videos and da-da-da-da-da all through the week. And then Sunday, he's right there in Atlanta telling you how great God is.
Hey, I like how that was a bar you just said. That da-da-da-da-da. I like how you slid that in there. Go ahead, bro.
But read this. Exodus 20 and verse 7.
Exodus chapter 20 and verse 7. Thou shalt not take the name of the Lord thy God in vain, for the Lord will not hold him guiltless that taketh his name in vain.
And this is taking the Lord's name in vain, saying, oh, God told me to do this. God showed me this way. God didn't show you this way, because if God showed you the way of keeping his commandments, that's all he showed you. God is telling you to stay away from your enemies. You know what I'm saying? This is what the Bible is telling you to do. Now you making up things on your own, and you taking God's name in vain so that you can pull on the heartstrings of the people. You're a user.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? And you're using our people, and you're not the only one. A lot of our people do the same thing. Politicians do the same thing. That's why when it's voting time, they show up at the church. Because they're using the people. They're, the Lord has a plan and a vision for us and my economic strategy. And so now we're going to do this over the next 5 years. Come on, man. You're using the people. You're playing on their heartstrings that they, like you brought out, that they have a zeal of God, but not of the knowledge. You know what I'm saying? And that's what's leading our people further and further away from God. Because now you got people hooting and hollering and cheering in the background, but then in 5 years when the HBCU is back where it was, they're going to be like, what do we do now? And then he's going to set the catalyst for the next person to come and use them.
Yep.
And the next person to come and use them. And the next person. Because that's all we do. We use each other.
Right. And like I said, we sell ourselves, bro. You know, think about our forefathers, right? Get me. Is it Nehemiah 4:1? Ezra 4:1. Ezra 4:1, I think it is. Think about our forefathers. This is why the Lord said, I have to return your minds back to your fathers and your fathers back to the sons. It's a reason for this because we lost our way. Watch this. Is that what I want, bro?
Yeah, that's it.
Go ahead.
Ezra chapter 4 and verse 1.
Go ahead.
Now when the adversaries of Judah and Benjamin heard that the children of the captivity builded the temple unto the Lord God of Israel.
You gotta think about this. A lot of times, man, when we read stuff, we can't see it. We can't picture it. The adversaries, all our enemies, right? They're on the outside looking in. Let's just look at it as in the football sense. They're on the outside looking at Deion go down to Jackson State. And he's building up this whole culture. He's taking this team that was nothing and building it up. It's the same spirit back in the Persian captivity when we were building up our temple. Here we are. The temple is laid waste. Nobody's worried about the temple. Nobody's coming and saying, let's build the temple. It lay waste for over 70 years. But now all of a sudden when they hear, okay, you know what? We putting some effort into it. We trying to build it up and bring it back to its glory.
Exactly.
Here comes the adversaries. That's why the Lord said there's nothing new under the sun. And this Bible is going to speak at the end. But read on. Watch this.
Verse 2. Then they came to Zerubbabel and to the chief of the fathers and said unto them, let us build with you.
Let us build. This is what the adversary. Hey, let us come and build with you. We want to be a part of this. Read, come on.
Let us build with you, for we seek your God.
Go ahead.
As ye do. And we do sacrifice unto him since the days of Ashur-Haddon, king of Ashur.
Go ahead. Listen to what our forefathers said when our adversaries wanted to come and just help us build. Think about the mindset. Our forefathers could have used the resources of these other nations. You know what I'm saying? It would have probably expedited the finishing of the temple. It hindered them because of all the oppression, all the what was they doing? Everything that the enemies was doing to us, they stopped building for a time.
Exactly.
So imagine if Zerubbabel would have said, you know what? Y'all can come help us. The temple would have been built. It would have been no need for Haggai. It would have been no need for Zechariah.
Right.
You understand? But read on. Watch this.
Verse 3. But Zerubbabel and Jeshua and the rest of the chief of the fathers of Israel said unto them,
Go ahead.
Ye have nothing to do with us.
That was the mindset of our people, man. They didn't want no help from our adversaries, from our enemies to help us build nothing. Our forefathers wanted to build it themselves. Build something ourselves. A lot of times when we build things ourselves, we put our culture stamp on it, the enemy comes, chews it up, spits out the fat.
Exactly.
Let me plug Deion Sanders out. Think about what Deion Sanders, just the, what's the word I want to use when you're recruiting, his recruiting tactic. I don't want to say tactic. I know it's a better word for it.
No, that's it.
But his tactic when he goes and recruits these young men, he sits in front of their parents, the number one recruit. Hey, brother, you got an opportunity to come and do something that's never been done. Come to an HBCU and change the landscape of how we look at college football.
He did that.
And he did that. That was the talking point that he presented to this young man. And he took the bait. He took the bait. But then all of a sudden, this is why the scriptures say, give me that in Sirach, I think it says, is one that teacheth many.
But unprofitable to himself.
And like I said, it's okay if that was the issue. That's all right. Okay. You want to move on. All right. We get it. But don't present this thing where you're trying to save black folks, the HBCUs, and bring these athletes. Why our top athletes got to go to these white institutions and build up their institutions? That's the narrative that Deion painted. And this is the backlash that he's getting right now. You understand? It's not that, in his mind he think, hey, because I'm going to Colorado, you leaving your people. No, you leaving what you was preaching.
Exactly.
And you taking those players with you. You're not gonna send those same top 5 recruits and say, hey, you know what, don't come to Colorado. Just go on to Jackson State. Go to Sutherland. That ain't gonna be your recruiting now. You understand? It's gonna be to hell with Jackson State.
Right. It's gonna be like, come to Colorado.
Colorado. You remember those pools I told you we didn't have? We had to put a fan at the bottom of the bottom of the pool. We got those pools right now. We got the pools right now that you can go, the cold and hot pool. You understand? You got what I want?
Yes, sir.
Go ahead.
Sirach chapter 37 and verse 19.
Go ahead.
There is one that is wise and teacheth many.
Hey, man, y'all leave Tyrone alone. We just going to leave him there, bro. Leave him alone, man. Let the scoffers scoff. Everybody, this is one thing we got to realize, you know what I'm saying? Everybody has their part to play in this life. Scoffers is going to scoff. Teachers is gonna teach.
Haters is gonna hate.
Haters gonna hate. We can't stop this thing. You know what I'm saying? I just seen the captain of another camp in our comments.
I seen that.
You a captain. I can't imagine a captain of IUIC in somebody else's comments talking about your leader is a damn idiot.
You know why?
Or your leader died of COVID. Nigga, he just taught a class last week.
A couple days ago.
What the hell is going on out here, man?
You know why you will never see our captains doing that? Because they too busy doing the work.
And this is, and I hate to deviate from what I'm saying, but I saw it and it's just like the Lord said, what I tell you the whole?
Sirach 37.
Drop that. Give me what Christ said, you should know them by their fruits. I think it's John something. Or it might be Matthew 10. You should know them by their fruits. I got you. Read that.
Matthew chapter 10 and verse 33.
Okay.
Either make thee.
No, that's not it. Somebody find it. You should know them by their fruits. 7:16? Okay, all praise. Thank you, sir. Let's read that right quick.
Yeah, start at 15.
Start at 15. Thank you, officer. You in the spirit now. The spirit just jumped on you, bro. Go ahead.
Matthew chapter 7 and verse 15.
Go ahead.
Beware of false prophets,
which
come to you in sheep's clothing.
This is why Christ said you got to beware of false prophets, and it lines perfectly up with the situation we're talking about.
Right.
Beware of false prophets that come to you in good clothing, sheep's clothing. You understand? That present to you, hey, we're going to do this, and we're going to do that, and we're going to build this thing up, and we're going to change the dynamic, and we're going to see what happens. You better beware of everybody who says God to you. Because everybody ain't right. Read.
But inwardly, they are ravening wolves.
It says, but inside of some people, they just wolves. All they think about is they selves. They own agenda. This is why it's so good to be a part of something bigger than yourself. This is why it means more when you can build. We building and changing the lives of our people. Yeah, I know. Leave them there.
No,
I know. Don't worry about it.
The number one hater.
Don't worry about it, bro. Haters is gonna hate. Scoffers is gonna scoff.
Yeah, you right.
You understand? But you watching us. But read on. Come on.
Verse 16. Ye shall know them by their fruits.
And this is why it said you're going to know them by their fruits. You don't see Bishop Nathaniel in nobody's comments. Let this, for all y'all that's watching the class, that are on the fence about what camp to join, about where do I go, which doctrine is right, the scripture says, let the spirit bear witness with your spirit. You've never seen Bishop Nathaniel. You've never seen the deacons. You've never seen the captains in nobody else's classroom scoffing. You will never see that. Why? Because they out doing the work of the Most High God. They out building churches. Don't you see we flying over you? Don't you see we building around you? Read.
Ye shall know them by their fruits.
Come on.
That's right.
Do men gather grapes of thorns?
The scripture said, do men gather thorns? Do men gather men that will prick you?
Right.
That'll cut you down every way that they can? Go ahead.
Or figs of thistles?
Go ahead.
Even so, every good tree bringeth forth good fruit.
And the scripture says, this is why you don't see captains, officers, soldiers. This is why you don't see it. This is why you only got 25 viewers. If you ever get to 100 viewers, 75 of them would be from us.
Right.
Watching to see the ignorance that you
That
gonna say.
say. Yeah.
But you don't get that. You get 25 views. Because guess what? A good tree can't bring forth bad fruit.
That's right.
A good tree brings forth good fruit. All we doing is the work. You will never see me on nobody comment. You will never see me comment about nothing.
Especially people I'm trying to warn everybody else about.
Nothing. You understand? You can make a video until your head explode on me. It is what it is. Thank you.
Congratulations.
You played
yourself. Read on.
But a corrupt tree bringeth forth evil fruit.
But a corrupt tree, I have your degenerates on in the comment section talking about your bishop died when he just taught a class. He just taught a class. He just
Stop
did
it.
3 or 4 podcasts.
Get some help.
Right.
Just in the last week, works alone, he did the work of
Your
whoever
whole
you
camp.
following
Right.
for about a year. Just in the last 36 hours.
Exactly.
This is amazing, bro. But back to
Amazing.
normally scheduled programming.
Right.
Deion Sanders. Like I said, bro, it's not a problem from you wanting to leave. The issue is what you presenting to young men. What you presented to the city of Jackson. You understand? That's the issue. You understand? If you're gonna build something, we got to stand on it. We can't be so quick to sell ourselves. Give me that in Timothy right quick. The love of money.
You know what I got from this also? Think about the civil rights movement, right? All our leaders that was pushing hard for civil rights.
Yeah.
Then they got government jobs.
Then they got government jobs.
There's no difference from this.
It's the same play.
It's the exact same play.
It's the same play. Like I said, at a certain point in time, black folks, and this is why we coming back to who we are, our nationality. There's not a dollar amount that you could put on to come help us build.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Like, no, we want to build this on our own. We want to build this on our own with our own hands. This is how Christ wanted it. You understand? Read on. Come on.
1 Timothy chapter 6 and verse 10.
Go ahead.
For the love of money is the root of all evil.
It said the love of money, that's the root of all evil. When we hold money in high regard, that's when evil comes, man. And this is what black folks, this is what we haven't figured out yet. We so quick, we get money, we want to move. We want to change. We want to do different things. Instead of building, instead of sitting there and saying, you know what? BT's, this is just an example, right? BT Network. That was our network. Bob Johnson owned that network. There shouldn't have been a dollar amount that anybody could pay
Right.
for the narrative to black people.
To change it.
And Bill Cosby understood it. That's why he was trying to buy NBC. But you see the mindset of the two. That's why I said it's two different nations in your womb. Esau understood. I don't give a damn how much money you got, Bill Cosby. You not buying NBC. Nigga, it's for sale, but not to you.
Right.
Anybody but you.
Anybody but you. You understand? They did the same thing, and it's a carnal sense. If y'all remember Suge Knight,
Yep.
Jay Prince, Gotti, and it was one more. There was one more brother that tried to get together and create their own distribution in the music industry.
Got shut down.
And they put Fed cases on all of them.
All of them.
You understand? Because they understood there's no dollar amount. If you control the narrative to what you push into your people, we lost. We want to control this. And this is what our people don't understand. This is the issue. This is the only real issue that I got. You know what I'm saying? With it. It's like, come on, Deion, bro. You had the opportunity to build something that was way bigger to affect a lot of people. But like I say, it's in his right to do what he want to do.
Yeah.
But just say that, hey, this is stepping stone. Nobody gave you an opportunity, bro.
Nobody gave you opportunity.
Nobody gave you opportunity. But just say that, okay, you know what? This is stepping stone, but this is where I want to be. Don't sit there and talk about the Power Fives for 2 years and how corrupt they are, and then turn around and go to a Power Five.
You're a hypocrite, bro.
You understand? So, y'all got something on it. Go ahead.
No, it's all good. And at this point, I don't even think it's about the money with Deion Sanders. I mean, at least he says it's not about the money.
Hey, and Bishop should be living lavish. You know what I'm saying? That's what he got us for, man. We're going to take care of the bishop.
Right.
Maybe you haven't read in the scriptures. Give me that in Timothy's quick.
Okay, 1 Corinthians 2.
He should be.
Maybe you don't know the scriptures like you think you do. Maybe you should just go back and keep watching class.
What is it? Timothy's, man, never mind, bro. Never mind. Go ahead.
No class. Leave him alone.
You know what I'm saying? But anyway, with Deion Sanders, like, it may not be about the money, but whatever it's about, don't sell out your people. You know what I'm saying? Don't put them in a position to where now without you done use them to get where you want to go, but now they don't get nothing in return. Mm-hmm. All they get in return is 2 SWAC championships. Mm-hmm. Your whole purpose was to go down there and change the narrative. Have you changed the narrative? And if so, how? You know what I'm saying? When you leave, will it be better than than how you started it? You know what I'm saying? Did I say that right? Mm-hmm. Yeah. When you leave, is it better than
how you came?
Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So
he did good works. He did good works down there, but you gotta finish it. You know what I'm saying? Like when he went down there, the facilities was trash. You know, they didn't have a damn practice field.
Right. Exactly.
You know what I mean? They got all that. They got all that. So all praises, you know what I'm saying? In that sense, okay, all praises. You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, bro, this is what you've been pushing to go to the next level. You've been pushing to get these recruits to come to HBCUs. I am SWAC. Who's SWAC? I am SWAC. Right. So now they make it seem like when the other coach said that nigga ain't SWAC, you know what I'm saying? Now people are saying he was right. Because you're not. Because if you was, you would be there. But anyway, go ahead. Go ahead.
No, it's all good.
I digress.
It's all good. I do want to end. We got a couple minutes. Let's go to this story about the 10-year-old. The 10-year-old. Y'all see that?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Because these are things that we got to highlight that's going on in our community, things we got to talk about, because this all plays a part in our in our oppression and what we're going through. So let's read this real quick. Read that for me real quick.
10-year-old boy charged as adult in fatal shooting of his mother.
A 10-year-old boy. I want you to understand a 10-year-old. This is a 10-year-old boy, right? Stories like this is why we need to understand the scriptures, why we need to understand God's laws. Let's read this thing.
A 10-year-old boy is being charged as an adult after shooting and killing his mother in Milwaukee, per TMJ4 News. The boy allegedly took his frustration out on his mother after she refused to buy him a VR headset from Amazon. A family member claims he's had ongoing anger issues.
So now this little boy shot his mom because he didn't get a toy or whatever, or get a VR headset that he wanted. Because she didn't spend her hard-earned money for something for him. Like, what is going on here? Like, now, let's see what God's laws says. Give me that in Proverbs, train up a child. If she had God's laws, right? It doesn't mention anything about a father in the article at all. So I'm assuming that there's no father there. That's already enough anger in a young man when the father is not there, right? But let's read this.
Proverbs chapter 22 and verse 6. Train up a child in the way he should go, and when he is old, he will not depart from it.
So we supposed to be training up our children in the ways that they should go, the law, statutes, and commandments. But if these things are not being taught in the household, if she's dealing with stresses of being left, not being a wife, now that child is dealing with stresses, not having a father, not having somebody there to correct them. Give me 1 Timothy 3, where it says this is the father's role and what he's supposed to have in stake in this. 1 Timothy 3, I think it's verse 7. 1 Timothy 3, 4.
1 Timothy chapter 3 and verse 4. One that ruleth well his own house.
This is the qualifications of a man. One that ruleth well his own house, read.
Having his children in subjection with all gravity.
Having his children in subjection with all gravity. If these things were taught in his household, if these things were brought forth in his household, if God's laws were brought forth in his household, we wouldn't be reading this story. So to the blacks, Hispanics, Native Americans, we bringing these things out because we trying to get y'all to understand how the laws of God will change your way of life. This woman could still be alive if she understood that maybe I shouldn't have a child until I have a husband. Yeah. Mm-hmm. The husband understand, hey, I got to rule my house. These kids need to be under subjection to me. Mm-hmm. If I see anything in them, I'm going to bow him down on the sides and whoop him and make sure that his spirit is right. But because we don't have these things, we read these stories week after week, time after time, and it brings more depression on it. Just reading this story, it brings a sense of like, dang, man, are people really going through this? Mm-hmm. Are people really dealing with these things? You know what I'm saying? And so now, because we don't have God's laws in our life, we have stories like this. We have things like this going on in our neighborhood. This child is dealing with some type of mental issue. But that mental issue could be fixed with God's laws.
Right. The institution of marriage. Type in Keke Palmer, bro. You know, your favorite actor.
I like Akilah and the Bee.
Yeah, type her in and let's see what she just revealed to the world on national TV. What she just promoted to the world. Let's see if she promoted the laws of God.
Put SNL. Yeah, put Keke Palmer SNL.
Oh, that was a good picture. You
can just go back. Or what it was. All right, Keke Palmer's pregnancy inspires PCOS fans. Keke Palmer is pregnant. Debuts Baby Bump on Saturday Night Live.
So, you know, when did Keke get married?
She didn't.
Huh?
She didn't.
She didn't. You understand? But you go on Saturday Night Live and you debut that you pregnant. And why is this being celebrated? You got people in the audience clapping. Oh, like what? You promoting another single mom. That's what you promoting. You understand? Another baby, another child in wedlock, another child that has, you know, a high percentage of growing up without a father in his house. Mm-hmm. You understand? Because you know how black women are that make a lot of money, and I don't know who the father is, and that's the issue. Who you know the father is? That's
pictures just now starting to come out of the dude.
Oh, okay. So you know, but this is what's being celebrated. This is what's being. Give me that in Ecclesiastes real quick. This is what's being celebrated. You know what I want? Ecclesiastes. Folly. It's set in great dignity. It's Ecclesiastes 10 and 6.
Ecclesiastes chapter 10 and verse 6.
Start at verse 5. Watch this.
Verse 5. There is an evil which I have seen under the sun.
This what we seeing on TV. This is evil. And you can't look at it no other way. You got a woman that did not have a wedding. We don't know who her husband is. And you come out on national TV in front of our oppressors and you promote pregnancy out of wedlock.
Right.
Go ahead.
There is an evil which I have seen under the sun, as an error which proceedeth from the ruler.
Said as an error which proceeded from who?
The ruler.
From who?
The ruler.
Who promotes this? Those that rule over us. Go ahead. Come on.
Folly is set in great dignity.
Folly is set in great dignity, at high regard. What's the point of bringing her to SNN for her to reveal this? Because folly is set in high regard. They knew, hey, you know what? This right here is gonna get us a lot of likes. Gonna get us right back from and wipe away what Dave Chappelle was talking about 2 or 3 weeks ago.
Yep.
You understand? And our people don't even see it. When they came to her and even said, hey, do you want to do this? She should have said, hell nah. For what? Let me make sure before I had this baby, I get married. Let's go to Vegas or something.
Yeah.
But we don't, this is the mindset of our people, and it's the result, like the Russian Edomite said, result of rap music. You understand? Rap music, bro. But go ahead. That's all I wanted, man. So we at the end, man. Y'all got any closing remarks?
Hey, keep God's commandments and live.
Don't sell out your people.
All praises. Yeah, man. What about you, Gamliel, brothers? You got any closing remarks, bro?
No, sir.
So happy to be here.
I'm so happy to be here.
Ain't got nothing to say. No closing remarks.
He said, I got my check
This
and I
your
was
time
gone.
right here, bro. Go ahead.
Like, share, and subscribe.
Okay.
IUIC Kansas City.
My man.
My man. All praises, bro. All praises to the Most High. Hey, so this is another episode of Sin of the Seers. Lord's will, y'all get something out of it. Get some type of edification out of it, because this is what we do it for. We come to edify our people and bring this Bible to life. This is why we named it Sins of the Seers, because we want to bring it to life. This is not stories in a book. This is our history. This is our history, and our forefathers are literally talking to us. You understand? So we got to be able to filter the different things that we see in life, be able to go into the scriptures and filter them and see, okay, this is what my forefather, this is what they went through, and this is what the plan or the words that they left us to get over it. You understand? So we can take advantage of these words, man. So all praise to the Most High. Again, man, let the haters hate, man. Again, we'll be back on at 12:30 every Monday. Mm-hmm. We on 12:30 every Monday. You know what I'm saying? Bringing this word out. So all praises to the Most High. Lord's will, we be back next Monday if life lasts. All right. Shout out to the IT team. Y'all did an all right job today. Shouts out to the cameraman. All right. And shouts out to the reader. All praise to the Most High. Hey. And to our brother, Abishai, all praises, bro. Get healthy. To
get
Zim,
well,
Officer Zim, get well as well. Our prayers to you and our prayers to all those who are sick in the body. You know what I'm saying? All praise to the Most High, y'all. All right, with that, we say shalom.
Shalom. Most High in Christ will.
Yo. In my city, them bullets fly. Bystanders and babies die. Funerals back to back. Can't nobody tell me why. Didn't see so much death. I can't lie. I can't even cry. Gotta keep something with you, cause my brother got an evil eye. Time to tell who real or not. Women scheming, niggas plotting. Hell, I ain't used to give a damn if I live or not. Yeah, they wanna put me in a box, fill me with 100 shots. So we just pray and watch. Plus we gotta feed the flock. So it's 365, man, the work don't stop. Keys to the kingdom, yo, we got it on lock. Make the world go round like hands on the clock. Don't fear no man, don't trust no cop. Stop sin instead of campaign. We just do the work, we don't campaign. We gon'